Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam. We are live. This is the Manchester United against Partizan Belgrade preview. United are back in action on Thursday night, and it is, of course, Europa League action. Thursday nights means Europa League action. Don't even need to say that, do I? But we do take on Partizan Belgrade with the opportunity to seal our place in the next round of the competition. 7 points out of 9 so far. Wins over Astana 1-0, Partizan 1-0, and a draw with AZ Alkmaar 0-0. So what that shows you is we're not scoring many goals in this competition. We've got 2 goals so far in the competition, even though we have managed to get 7 points out of 9. It'd be nice to get a few more goals on Thursday night, wouldn't it? But the result is what matters, because if we win, then the next 2 Europa League games pretty much become a dud. Of course, we'll still want to finish top, make sure we win our home game, but you'll be able to take, a few of your main players out of the equation completely when it comes to them games. And it's always nice not to be worrying about being, you know, worried about qualification in the last couple of games of a group. So it's a great opportunity for United, but we need to get the job done. And as we saw with Partizan Belgrade, they're not the worst outfit. Yes, they didn't really threaten us much. Yes, United had, a comfortable 1-0 victory, if you ever have a comfortable 1-0 victory. I never really felt like Partizan Belgrade would score, but I think it'll be a different game at Old Trafford. They'll be coming to Old Trafford looking to pull off a shock. Their fans will be up for it. They will be up for it. And we've seen at Old Trafford is where we can take our eye off the ball. Teams can sit in. We can find it hard to break them down. We can, you know, not create enough chances, not get enough goals. We've seen Palace, Astana, only 1-0. In the away game against Partizan, only 1-0. Rochdale, we go to penalties. So we've seen when teams come to Old Trafford, it's pretty easy for them to get a result, which is kind of a bad thing to say, isn't it? You'd expect any team to be coming to Old Trafford and United to be knocking, knocking, knocking at their door until we get what we want, which is 3 points or the win. But things have changed. We're not like that anymore. And we need to put in a performance to get a result. We need to create more chances, and we need to take those chances when they come. Will we see a whole host of changes to the team? That's possible. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just had his press conference with Ashley Young. So it looks like Ashley Young's probably going to be starting this game, which is good news because for me, because I put him in my predicted 11. But Ashley Young was there with him at the press conference. Victor Lindelof will miss this game, but hopefully he'll be available for the game against Brighton. Victor is out; he won't be available. Hopefully, he'll be back for the weekend. I'm sure. I'm not sure," said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Eric Bailly's been pictured at Aon Training Complex earlier this week, 2 to 3 weeks away from a return to action. So he's finally working on the grass again, working with the fitness staff, running on the pitch, etc. But he's not done anything with the team yet. So we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks. And Timothy Fosu Mensah is in a similar position. So we are getting players back from injury. It's just taking a lot longer than we would have hoped. We've also got Paul Pogba out as well. And we're looking at the start of December for Paul Pogba to be back after that international break. So those are the updates on the injury news. No further details on Axel Twanzebe, Diogo Dalot, Nemanja Matic or Angel Gomes, who are still missing with injury. I would have loved to see Angel Gomes in the team against Partizan Belgrade. I've been concerned with his absence from Manchester United squads. If it is an injury, fair enough. But it looks like he's injured and missing this game at the moment. So that is the team news. Victor Lindelof is out for Manchester United. So he will not play in this game against Partizan Belgrade. I'll give you my predicted 11 a little bit later on in this game. What are you guys saying in the comments? Will says we need to smash them 4-0. We need to see Greenwood start, says Don Falcone. Yes, due to Root, thank you for your comments. I can see Hassan. Hassan is in the comments. Who else in the comments? Let's have a look. Arthur's in the comments. Mioza is in the comments. Truth Seekers in the comments saying it's going to be a 3-0 win for Manchester United. And you might have heard those right there, right on cue. As always, on Adam McKola TV, it is the Sirens. Yes. That's what's going down But that's what you guys are thinking, and Damien thinks it will be another 1-0. How do we prevent it from being another 1-0? Will Ole go with the back 3-4-1-2, like we've seen him go with before and we went with in the away game? Or will he go with a 4-2-3-1 like we've seen occasionally? And he went back to against Bournemouth, which didn't obviously help us get a victory there. Will he stick with that back three with two wing backs? Remains to be seen. I probably think he won't at home. They play a 4-4-2. So you can, maybe playing a three at the back makes sense against a 4-4-2 because you occupy both their strikers with three centre halves. But I think Lindelof is not playing. Mcguire needs a rest. So for me, you play a back two and you give Mcguire a rest that he needs, and you give Lindelof, obviously he's not playing anyway. So I'd go Rojo and Jones personally. But Will's saying Jones, Mcguire and Rojo. He wants to see Mcguire in this game. Faris wants to see Williams on as well. Brandon Williams has to play this game, doesn't he? I'd play Brandon Williams on the left and Ashley Young on the right. Give Wan-Bissaka a rest. And then maybe in the latter 30, 40 minutes, if you're going to start Brandon Williams against Brighton on Sunday, which I'd expect you to, then you could take off Brandon Williams for Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the last half an hour and put Ashley Young at left back. I do think Ashley Young will start. He's obviously not playing against Brighton, so it looks like he'll play in this game, and then we'll give whoever was probably going to play here against Brighton. I'd rather see Brandon Williams in that league game, so I don't mind Ashley Young starting here. Obviously suspended for that game. With Ashley Young, look, he's not good enough for Manchester United anymore. I think that's, pretty much well known. But I find it a bit distasteful when people are like, I understand criticism of performances. I understand that. But proper giving him stick on Twitter and, or it's like, Ashley Young is a very good servant to Manchester United. He's been here for years. He always works his bollocks off. He hasn't got the quality anymore. He shouldn't be starting for Manchester United. I think we all know that. But I just think, have a little bit of class about you. Ashley Young's always been classy with Man United fans, always been classy with the club. And it may be because he feels lucky to be here, which everyone should be, but, just have a bit of respect, man. Having said that, I don't want to see him start in the league. I want to see Brandon Williams starting. I want to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka starting. I want to see us look into the future. Ethan Laird's also trained with the first team as well. Here's another one that can be used there. Diogo Dalot, when he's back from injury, another one that can be used there. So there isn't much reason for us to be going with Ashley Young when we've got our players fit. Ethan Laird just back from an injury as well recently. So you're looking at that and you're thinking, we need these guys to step up, get through, and play. Ashley Young will be a great experienced head in the dressing room, but on the pitch right now, he's not cutting it for us. He's not cutting it for us. Yes, hold tight the India shirt. Nice one, Vinay. D Mizmob says going to be watching the match in Dam with a fat one. Love that. Enjoy Amsterdam, mate. Hope you have a good one. Awesomeness is pretty much doing the same thing right now. It's all going off in the comments. Say something for me, lads. What's happening? True Seeker says, well said. I feel sorry for Young. People should leave him alone. He seems like a nice guy. Says Damien. He is a nice guy. Being a nice guy doesn't mean you don't get criticised. You still deserve criticism for your performances. And that's one of the things that I always say. I never lay into players personally. I'll come out and say a player had a bad game if they had a bad game. I'll come out and say, I don't think it's good enough. We maybe need a replacement. I'll come out and say those things, but I'll never come out and cuss someone personally. Because I know I'm a Manchester United fan. If I see them, I want to chat to them. I want to shake their hand. I want to have a picture. I want to say hello. I want to interview them. This is the thing. We can't forget that we are fans. We are Manchester United fans. We are Manchester United supporters. Why are so many people running around hating everyone that plays for Man United? I understand. You may think they're not good enough. You may want them replaced. You may think United are shit because we are. But relax. Young should never start, says Mio. I agree. Greenwood could be the target man. Then Martial as Partizan would sit back. says Faris. What happened to Demi Mitchell? A few injuries, didn't he? Didn't go to plan. Look, with younger players, anything can happen, and that's why I'm a bit hesitant to heap loads of pressure onto some of these younger players, because there's been players over the years that I've really loved watching. Pepe Rossi's one that comes to mind straight away. Still had a decent career, did well at Villarreal. Didn't do great for United when he broke through to the first team. Combination of injuries, bit of hard luck in terms of his loan moves when he went to Newcastle and stuff, but didn't go to plan. Fraser Campbell, David Petrucci, Raval Morrison. Fucking, there's so many quality players. Ebanks Blake, that I thought were the man. Federico Mcguire, Danny Welbeck. Like, so many players that have talent that you come through and you think they're the man. They are the next best thing. And it don't happen. Andreas Pereira, Timothy Fosu-Mensah. They've still got a year or so maybe to prove it. To the end of this season to prove it. But they as well, like, I expected them to be tearing it up so much more. And you got to look at it. Timbo, injuries. Pereira, not sure what it is. But they haven't lived up to what they showed in the first team. In the reserves, in the 23s. Same with Adnan Januzaj. Doing well, having a decent career at Real Sociedad. Great assist the other day. But not at Man United. And I think that's the thing, we've got to relax a little bit. There's a lot of talent. And the thing is, if you're at Manchester United in the academy, you're talented. You have got the talent to play for the club. Now it's about mentality, bit of luck, you know, keeping your head straight, working hard, staying at it. You know, there's so much different variables that come into it. Negativity ruins their confidence, makes it. I think abuse, yeah, is that negativity is not called for. I think just simply football fans have always been football fans, and always had a moan, haven't we? Timbo, I hope he gets a chance this season. Hopefully, he's such bad luck with injury. And you think about if he wasn't on loan, sorry, where was he on loan second? Fulham. If he wasn't on loan there, you possibly think he's still at United. If he doesn't get injured, Ollie gives him a chance towards the back end of the season. He stays with us this pre-season, has a good pre-season. You never know where he is right now. He's probably in that midfield, you know, holding it down with McTominay and them. Can't believe I just said that. Midfield's bad at the moment, innit? McTominay is our best player in midfield. Pogba's out till December. Oh, too many negative Nancy's, says Andrew King. Pereira is a good player, but he's not good enough for United, says Faris. You're a unit is in the comments, going on a mad one. Yeah, let's not be blindly positive. That's not what I'm saying. I've never once said we should be blindly positive. But you should always want us to win, right? Sometimes you get the feeling some people don't want us to win. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Right, predicted 11 times. And this is my predicted 11. This is the team I think might line up against Partizan. But Juan Mata. Is Juan Mata going to start? I think he might do. But I've gone with Sergio Romero in goal, Young at right back, Jones, Rojo, Brandon Williams at left back, McTominay and James Garner, Jesse Lingard, Tahith Chong, Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial. Let's give that boy Marcus Rashford a fucking rest. Marcus Rashford will run through a brick wall for the club. He will keep playing. That is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Remember, Rooney just wants to play. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad. Look at him at the end of his career. Fizzled out quickly. And you think you've got to manage players sometimes and say, look, sit this one out, lad. Sit this one out. Colchester might be a chance to say, sit this one out. You've been playing through injury at the back end of last season. working his bollocks off, running around. He might not be in form all the time, but he's been grafting. And half the time when he doesn't play well, he starts looking injured. That's because he's tired. I think we need. I know he's had a summer and all that, but nevertheless, mentally as well, fatigued sometimes. And I think he's doing well recently. Just pull him out for a game. Pull him out for a game. Zach is surprised that I picked Jesse Lingard. I tell you why I picked Jesse Lingard. Because the sooner Jesse Lingard's back in form for Manchester United, the better it is for us. Because we do need him to be playing and playing well. Because if he does, it helps a lot with what we're trying to achieve in terms of this press and high energy football with what we're doing under Ole. Until we can buy players that can drop into this number 10 position, that can play behind the striker, that can create goals and chip in with goals. Until we can buy that man, we have to utilise what we have. Who's the best out of what we have? I think Jesse Lingard is probably the best in that area. Juan Mata used to be, would have been, and I think he has the quality to do that. But getting Jesse Lingard confident is important. And I think play him in this game. Hopefully he gets a goal. Hopefully he gets an assist. Hopefully he has a good performance. And just get something under his belt. So that in the next few games, we're getting a Jesse that's coming on. And the shackles are off a little bit. Look, I think Jess has been awful this season. Compared to how he was last season. Especially under Jose and the start of Ole. He needs to pull his socks up. He doesn't ever not work hard, so that's going to always play in his favour. But the quality at times has to improve, and these are passes that you know he can make, and he won't make them. These are chances that you know he can take in terms of shots, and he'll opt to take an extra touch or switch it onto his other foot. That shows me a man that is seriously lacking in confidence. And unless if you don't perform, Ole's going to sign someone, or someone's going to sign someone. Next manager's going to come in. You could be out. So it's important to always be consistent, always be performing for Man United. As it is right now with the squad that we have, Jesse's an important player to us, and we need him in form. So I think we need to play him. Come on, man. Put in a performance, Jess. D-Miz thinks it's the same. Jay says he wants our Lingardinho back. Mo Wada says the Lingard's another one constantly mocked on social media. I would have quit United by now. The thing is, he's a Manchester United fan. He will never want to quit Man United. That's the thing. He'll never want to quit Man United. Jess is a good kid, man. I think he works hard to be at this club. I don't think people look at him and look at his clothing brand and all that and think, oh, look at this fucking idiot. The dancing and the social. But I think his heart's in the right place. And I think genuinely for United, he wants to do it well. So I just think it's, Anyway. If you perform well, nobody's going to mock you, says Ahmed. And it's true. When you perform well, people love that shit. People love your videos. People love... I remember when we were winning, United fans were sharing his social media videos every single game, like buzzing off it. And now because we're losing, it's the opposite way, which is understandable, I guess. It's understandable. But yeah, that's my team. Rojo and Jones in the centre-half positions. Brandon Williams and Ashley Young in the full-back positions. McTominay, Garner, Jesse Lingard, Tahith Chong, Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial. I really think we've got to give Marcus Rashford a rest. Pull him out of the team. Let him sit this one out. Maybe come on from the bench if he wants to. But for me, doesn't make any sense. Bringing someone off the bench. Like, why are you going to bring him off the bench? You know what I mean? He's playing. He's getting a rest. Keep him out of the team. Unless we're losing or something, which we shouldn't be, even without him. But I think that's a strong enough team. You look at Martial through the middle. He'll be looking at his opportunity to add to his goal tally. Mason Greenwood and Tahith Chong. Tahith Chong was excellent for the 23s last week. And you're watching him and you're thinking, bloody hell, it's just too easy for you, mate. And I think he really does need a loan move. We've seen when he comes into the first team, he hasn't really performed as of yet. But it's too easy for him at 23s. And if he's not going to play enough games this season for United, send him out on loan. But I'd start him in this game. Angel Gomes. Someone asked what's up with Angel Gomes. I'm not too sure personally. I hope he's back and fit very soon. He's injured, but there's been times when he hasn't been injured. He's been playing for the 23s and he hasn't been in the first team squad, and that's a strange one. Is he going to sign that new deal or not? Sign the thing, Angel. Please sign it. Um, Brandon should start both games before the international break, says Petulia. Need Bata back in form as well. He's the only one who could possibly break a deep lock, says Nico. It is a good point. Interesting point with that is we had like 4 games in a week, 3 games in a week, and Mata didn't play in any of them, which was a bit strange. Was he ill? Was he? You know, not sure. But Dembele says Scott needs a rest. I thought that as well, but I can just see him starting. I really can. With the international break coming up, I can see him starting. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Scott McTominay start. But again, yeah, I agree with you. Him and Rashford are probably ones that need a rest at the moment. There's been a lot of talk about Harry Mcguire recently, which I don't get as well. Now, he's not in my starting lineup, but I just find the criticism of him a little bit strange. I mean, he's improved Manchester United's defence. I think we can all agree on that. He's improved our defence, and he's been decent. He's missed a few opportunities to score goals at the other end, and he's made 1 or 2, you know, like getting twisted up the other week and things like that. But as a defender, that's going to happen. If you get in the kitchen, you're going to get hot. You know what I mean? Or however they're saying. What's the saying? What's the saying? Can't take the heat. Don't get in the kitchen. Yeah, it's going to happen. But I think ultimately his performances have been pretty good. I don't think the defence has been our problem. I think it's a little bit strange. I think a lot of it comes from the price tag. But I think it's a little bit strange to be criticising Harry Mcguire when he's been one of our better players this season. So, yeah, weird ones. Get your predicted 11s in. Get your thoughts on Harry Mcguire in. And get your predicted scores in as well. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester United with Martial and Greenwood scoring. Mason Greenwood keeping up his good form. But let me know what your score predictions are in those comments. And we'll read some of those out as well. Get liking the video if you are watching this video, whether you watched it live or you've watched it back later. Thank you very much for tuning in. We normally get 100 or so watching when we're live, and then later on we'll get thousands more tuning in. So make sure you're hitting that like button if you are tuning into this video. It always helps give the video a little bit of boost in terms of the algorithms, yeah, whatever that word is. But Manchester United, Partizan Belgrade in the Europa League, and I will have post-match reaction from Old Trafford live on Adam McKola TV. We will also have the match day vlog as well, the day after. Well, probably on the evening / early morning of Friday. Then we'll have the aftermath live. Then we'll have the Brighton preview. On Full Time Devils, we'll be doing fan cams as well. So fan cams will be straight up on youtube.com/fulltimedevils. We did a preview with Full Time Devils with Angelina and Jay, which is up on Full Time Devils now. So there's loads for you to check out there. Mo thinks it's going to be 2-0. Iman thinks it's going to be 3-0. Petulia says 2 to 3 weeks till Fosu's back in training. His last chance, maybe. Fingers crossed for Timbo, Fosu, Mensah. Absolutely adore that lad and hope he does well at Manchester United. He's got the talent, that's for sure. Do you remember how much I used to rave about him, lads? Do you remember that Arsenal game when he played and Rashford scored 2? It was fantastic that day. Fosu's talent. He's had a few tricky low moves. He's had some injuries which haven't helped. I think, like, same with Tahith. I think maybe a low move to like Ajax or something, doing well. You know, playing in that Eredivisie. Like, they're losing players potentially, could get in there. But I think playing regular football is important for them, especially after those injuries. But hopefully Timbo can come back into the mix. Colin can't wait to see Timbo back in a United shirt as well. I think once Bailly is back, we can try various formations. Yeah, Zidane, Bailly and Pogba as well. Important. Danny James is another player that needs a rest, by the way. I know I've been speaking about Rashford and McTominay. Don't think Daniel James's hard work has gone unnoticed with me. Might not always have the quality in the final third, but he's been a lot better with that recently, getting some great assists. But Danny James, well, working his balls off, probably needs a rest in this one. And I think you could play someone like Tahith Chung or Mason Greenwood in his place, and you'd still be happy with that. So I'd go with giving Danny James, giving Marcus Rashford a rest for this game. Um, would like to know where Ollie would play Timbo. It's difficult to see him playing in that right position. Sarah Wan-Bissaka, obviously. You're looking in midfield, really, as an opportunity for him now. Whether he can come in there and do a job. But centre half. Do you think Mcguire ain't really passing the ball forward like Lindelof does? He dribbles and then passes to Young. Haven't really noticed that. I have seen Mcguire break the lines a few times. Um, so probably not. Maybe Lindelof does it more. Lindelof is out. No other players are back from injury. Says Jay with the update in the comments. Yes, guys, Lindelof is out of this match. He will not play. One last time for you guys that have joined us late. This is my predicted 11 right here. I've got Sergio Romero, Ashley Young, who done the press conference. People that usually do the press conference, it means they're probably going to start. Philip Jones, Marcus Rojo, Brandon Williams, James Garner, Scott McTominay, Jesse Lingard, Tahith Chung, Mason Greenwood, and Anthony Martial rests for Marcus Rashford and Danny James. So that's my predicted 11 for this game. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I think United are going to win 2-0 with Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood. Sorry, Anthony Martial and Mason Greenwood grabbing the goals. Thank you very much for tuning in, whether you watched it live or you watched it after. Make sure you're hitting that like button and getting your comments in the comments below. Keep it locked to Adam McKola TV for much, much more coming your way. And for now, I'm Adam McKola. I'm out of here.